Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, second year student. This is our first lecture in narrative. When we study in the second year, in the first course, we talk something about narrative. Narrative, it is a prose fiction. It is a prose writing that is opposite or different from poetry. And we have talked something about the narrative in the first course that is divided into three genres, three literary types: short story, novella, and novel. In the first course we study short story and we take the definition, its elements, its features, and we take example for the short story. Now in this course we are going to take the second literary type of narrative, the second genre of narrative. It is novella. What is the novella? Novella, it is short, well structured narrative, often realistic and satiric in tone, influenced the development of short story and the novel throughout Europe. It is something, generally speaking, from its name, novella, it is something in the middle, between short story and between the novel. It is shorter than the short story, it is larger than short story and shorter than the novel. Novel, it is something bigger than the novella. This is not only the difference between those different types. Also, novella usually focus on one incident, one issues, one problem, and also focus on one or two characters that take place at one single location. This is the most important features of the novella. It focuses on one incident, one problem, and also focus on one character, or at least two characters. This is the novella. While the novel, it is sometimes covers wide range of problems, contain a lot of characters with their different problems and different developments. Also, here we are going to talk about the history of the novella that enters to England with the Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer, he is called the father of English poetry. Geoffrey Chaucer has an important collection of poems that's called the Canterbury Tales. One of the most beautiful collection of poems, and I advise all of you to read them because they are very enjoyable, the Canterbury Tales. And this is the beginning of the novella in England with Geoffrey Chaucer and William Shakespeare. Also flourished, they take this genre from Italy. First it appeared in Italy, then those two figures brought it to England. Novella also flourished in Germany under the name novelli. Also the importance or the characteristics of the novella: unique form, unity of mood and style. This replaced the traditional unity of action. The importance of the frame as diminished as a step for maintaining absolute objectivity, objectivity rather than subjectivity. Here we are going to compare between novellas and the short stories. Of course, the clear difference between the two genres, it is the matter of length. Short story is shorter than novella. Novella is larger than the short story. But this is not the only difference, of course. The other difference that novella contain the great character development and the blood development. Character development and blood development in novella is greater than in short story. This is an important point that we supposed to step at it. Novella can focus on the character development, focus on the blood development also. Concerning the publishing of the novella is published as a book. Yes, it is shorter than the novel, but it's published as a book. We can buy it as a book and read it as a book. While short story, no, it's supposed to put in within the collection of other short stories, because it is a few pages, so it is unworkable to publish as a book. That's why publishers put short stories together in one collection and publish it. Also we have concerning novella or the short story, we have electronic format or digital format, and hard work or hard copy format. The difference also between novella and the novel. Novel, it is a long literary form, it is rather long than the novella. So novella is shorter than the novel. Also the matter is not a matter of page or length only. The obvious differences between the two types, it is novel have subplots and conflicts. It is larger on the greater level than the novella. Novellas have fewer subplots and fewer conflicts than the novels. The narrative in novel resemble with straight line. It is direct. The narrator in novel, he is direct narrate the story, and he does not use complicate or indirect plot lines. We don't have in novella, for example, multiple narrators. Mostly, generally speaking, in novella the narrator is direct. The plot is direct rather than complicated. So here, this is the major difference between novella and the novel. While in the novel we have so many characters, we have multiple narrators, indirect narration is rather complicated. Even the plot and the narration is complicated in the novel. Why? Because it is very long. It discusses different topics, different themes. The characters are different from a lot of characters. Each one has different personality, and the focus, the narration is focused on the characters, different characters, and they are different personalities and they are different problems. So usually to have a rather complex narration. Since in the novella we have one or two major characters, one or two major characters in novella, so we expect that the narration is a rather simple, direct, straightforward. So also we don't have in novella, we don't have chapters, only we have one reading. It is concerned with emotional and personal development of the character. This is the definition. So this is the division of the novella. We don't divide the book of the novella into chapter 1, chapter 2. This division is for the novel. Chapter 1, chapter 2. With the drama we have scene 1, scene 2, in this way. But with novella, no, we don't have such a division. Rather, we follow the emotional and personal development of the character rather than with larger social sphere and the events that take place in one place or location. This is concerning the difference between novel and the novella. هنا رجعنا ذكرناها بنفس الطريقة. Novels usually focus on one character, while novella have several characters. Novels divided into chapters. Novellas are not. Both of them are published as a standalone work, as a book. Both of them are published as a book. Novella and novels can be published as a printed books or electronic books or both. Traditional publishers, publishers are more open to work with novels than novellas. وهاي تعرفها ليش طلاب. The last point, I want you to think about it. Why the publishers, especially traditional publishers, prefer working with novels rather than novella? Yes, this is the difference between the two genres. We have function of the novel. What is the function of the novel? The function of the novella? What is the benefit of the novella? Here, طبعا novella is very rich and rewarding form of literary genre. Why? Because it gathers the features of both genre, of short story and of novel. Why? It allows extended development of characters and themes. than a short story, and without making detailed structure demands of complicated book. يعني it focus on the characters, discuss the theme without make the book complicated like the novel. يعني it takes the development, focus on the development of the character similar to the short story. At the same time, it is different from the novel. It is not complete book. This novella provides a detailed and intense exploration of the topic. يعني it is not only focus on the character, also the topic, discuss it fully. Give us a complete picture of the topic, detailed and intense exploration of the topic, providing both complete focus of a short story and a broad scope of the novel. يعني قلت لكم هي take the features of both genre, focus on the short story and the broad scope of the novel. Finally, I give you the defining features of novellas. أهم الخصائص بالنوفلا: works of fiction, generally be read in single day, one reading يعني, published digitally or in a print. وبعد typically focus on one single plot line، يعني ما بيها sub plots، بيها plot واحد. Focus on one main character, one or two main characters. More complex than short story, less complex than novel. This is a general features or characteristics of the novella. Students, please summarize or memorize all these points, please, because they are important. They are required from you in the exam, and I hope we covered the most important point in this lecture. And inshallah, next lecture, inshallah, we are going to take the example for the novella that is Old Man and the Sea. Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. And Ernest Hemingway, he is not new for your hearing. He is the writer of The Cat in the Rain, if you remember. Now we are going to take another example for this writer. It is The Old Man and the Sea. It is not a short story, of course. It is a novella. We are going to talk about it in another detailed way next lectures, inshallah. This is the end of our lecture. Thank you very much for your listening, students. Thank you very much.